And welcome to another episode of New Gameplay. Today, I'm your host, Jeff Cork, joined today by Andrew Reiner.
Hello, sir.
How's it going, buddy?
Good.
Lil Vader.
Hey, guys.
How the heck are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Reiner, what are we looking at here?
This is the Sinking City from Frogwares, the dev team that did those Sherlock Holmes games for a long time.
You like those games?
I do. They did some really innovative stuff. A little rough around the edges at times, but yeah, they had some cool ideas for player choice.
And that guy is choosing to see yucky stuff in the picture. What's going on?
This is Reed. He's traveling to this town to investigate why it is flooding. And he's already starting to see things on the boat itself.
Would you say this work of fiction was inspired by the creations of any well-known authors?
Yes. Guillermo del Toro's inspiration is all over this.
Of course.
No, this is obviously H.P. Lovecraft stuff that you're seeing right now. And yeah, here you go. Here's your best shot. They don't shy away from it. This is the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And we're going to jump around. We have 3-minute clips. We can't show. I played this for 2 hours. This is my playthrough.
Really?
But we can only show you 3-minute clips.
So this is all you, right? What we're seeing?
This is me.
You're very good.
They're
at
like,
this.
don't do this. What are you doing? Why are you jumping up there?
Yeah,
I'm playing my way.
See that drop over there? I'm going to go.
I will also say that when putting this together, I tried to avoid showing the end of the mysteries. So there's obviously some clues being solved.
Cool.
If you're scared of that kind of spoiler, but no, nothing major.
All right.
Yeah, Charles W. Reed.
Did they say what the W stood for?
Winner. Charles Winner Reed.
Interesting. So
Okay,
how
did
much-
you mention that that hand icon looks exactly like the Second Life logo?
I did.
Okay.
And they're changing it.
Great. Just copyright issues, you know.
Yeah.
So this is a detective-y game.
Correct. So this is me looking around, trying to find stuff. I learned right here that you have to hold down the button.
It's like a spring-loaded locker? Okay.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Am I going mad just trying to open the locker?
This is the first puzzle.
So you can see here you have inventory. You could craft bullets. Bullets are a finite, like a rare resource in this game, kind of like Resident Evil.
Okay.
You're going to come across weird monsters that the people, the citizens strangely just kind of think are a part of their life now. But you're going to need to shoot them. Bullets are also currency. So when you want to buy a tip or something from someone or buy something else, you use bullets.
So it's kind of a Metro situation.
Correct.
Right.
I've never met a man quite like you.
We've jumped ahead here to
Oh, dear.
this.
This is the Throckmorton lineage, which is like a ape and human hybrid. You will also see the Innsmouthers are like a fish and human hybrid.
You will see them later on.
So this is, like, do they appear to be normal people for the other folks around town?
They're just blended in with society. There's a bunch of them. His son is missing. So right now we're showing a conversation. The conversations are lengthy. There's a lot of choices, but not like things you ask, but not a lot of player choice in that.
Okay.
Not a lot of player agency in kind of sculpting certain things. You do get choice at times in how you're solving things. There's some of that Sherlock Holmes stuff here. This game definitely has a lot of the similar systems in how you're investigating.
Okay.
But it seemed pretty linear in terms of these early cases I was on.
Because one of the things you like about those Sherlock Holmes games, Reiner, in case you forgot what you like about those Sherlock Holmes games, is that your investigations you can conclude with the wrong, like, I did my job, and then you find out at the end, no, you didn't.
And they did a good job with the writing in those, in that you felt like you followed everything right, and yeah, it seems like this guy is totally guilty. And then at the end of the game, there's an achievement like, did you send all the actual murderers to prison? And I didn't get that achievement. So whoops. Sorry, innocent person.
This seems to follow, like you say, like a more linear structure.
So far, yeah. I don't know how deep the systems are going to get in terms of choice. But again, so you can see, I'm just asking. I can ask all of those here, or I can go down to have a good day or whatever.
Okay.
Right?
And there aren't any like perception checks or anything like that. I noticed you've got a skill tree, but there's nothing.
Nothing yet.
Nothing that you see that gave you additional options.
Yeah, and I wasn't able to mess around with the skills.
Okay.
in this playthrough. They say this game is really long, over 30 hours. Critical path. Oakmont is this sprawling, I don't want to say open world, but it is open to you to explore. There are side missions you'll come across, hidden things that you can get. Okay, we jumped ahead here.
Recognize the face of the poor fella.
Doing a bit of an investigation now.
Yeah, so you're going to kind of see some of... Yeah, so Madness, he
mechanics.
starts seeing things throughout the whole game. You have different powers that you're going to use.
Yeah, what are those meters? What are those related to?
The Madness meter is the blue, and then that's his health.
Is that like the longer you hold into investigation mode, it makes you crazier?
Certain things you see.
Oh, okay. Like the guy got beat up.
So he just looked at a train and said, choo choo?
Yeah, all sorts of weird little observations. I don't feel a connection with Charles yet. Right at you saw the beginning of the game, he's immediately going mad, and then you're just kind of into the investigation. Like the first thing you do is run over to that Throckmorton and start having the conversation that you just saw.
Yeah.
So you don't really get to know who you are, and I hope that's something that comes up later in the game, because I really don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
What's happening here? You looked at the pocket watch and you looked through it.
Yeah, so that is one of the things, the powers you have.
Oh, retrocognition.
Right.
And it's based on objects. Then you can kind of interact and see what that thing was doing.
Yeah, so you hit right on the D-pad. It brings up, this is just kind of a help menu. And you could learn, here's about the mind's eye. And the mind's eye is something that Sherlock Holmes had, where you're connecting like the synapses in his brain to see how cases kind of come together.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm going to learn about here in just a second. There's also, well, I don't know what Leo's going to show us here, but you saw those ghostly figures.
Yes.
Much like the, what would I say, the Batman games when he's putting together the crimes with the kind of holographic images. You do something similar in this. You got to pick the order that things happen.
Oh, okay. I also noticed an entry for padlocks.
Prohibition hasn't
Is there like
affected
a
Oakmont.
lock-picking
I
mini
did not find one in my playthrough.
Okay.
Cool.
So that's
We will see the Mind Palace in a minute.
Oh, the Mind Palace. Yeah, the Mind Palace is very cool.
Is that what they called it in Sherlock Holmes also? I know it's a thing in the show.
Don't know. Maybe. I can't remember. So I was like, what the hell is this thing?
Don't walk into it.
But that's what you're supposed to do, and that will start this kind of ghostly thing.
Yeah, your sanity's really taking a hit there.
short
Yeah.
full house.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen. Like, it seems like if he goes mad, maybe you can't solve the crimes the right way. I think that'd be cool. I don't know how deep they go. So here you go.
What's happening?
So just these short little things that you got to try to piece together.
Yeah.
Take this, ape face.
So they were running out of that room. A gunshot. Nope. But you
That was
click,
3 minutes? So.
Yeah, but you click 1, 2, 3. Yeah, here's the Mind Palace, where you learn, like you have all these things that you've learned, and you got to try to figure out how they connect.
So these are all true things here.
Correct.
And you're trying to just put them in the right order. It's not like you're picking the right fact.
Correct. So there you go. There's one piece ready to go. And then you got to go back in the Mind Palace and then put more together.
Did it seem interesting and like satisfying?
Yeah, I thought the conclusions of the two cases I did sounded interesting. So right now I'm trying to think. Okay. These are like, there's a lot of reading involved here.
Yeah.
So for the sake of the video, I'm just kind of clicking around. Okay, there's part 2. And you'll see now. Okay, those are detached. Then there'll be lines, kind of like, investigators when they're putting the red yarn from point A to point B.
Yeah.
You start connecting stuff like that. And then eventually it comes to like a conclusion.
How much combat did you experience in these 2 hours you played?
Probably 5 battles, and they were kind of one shot here, one shot there.
Okay.
Right. Seems like very much not the focus.
And well, it's like you also have like a blunt object you're swinging to take down certain enemies. I went to an area I wasn't supposed to yet that was a little higher level.
Yeah.
And got absolutely annihilated in there.
Okay.
Here's another thing where you're following. These people are telling you where to go. These ghostly images that have hands all over them, which are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Robert wasn't exaggerating when he
So
said he
you can
raised him
climb.
strong.
Nice.
You can see they're kind of leading me along, and
Scene.
I'm ready for this. And I'm out of there.
It's kind of an Alan Wake thing.
And
Almost.
that was
That was it?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
So you made silent bullets? Whoa.
Yeah, the imagery is pretty cool. I think the artist did a phenomenal job on the city itself. Oakmont's very cool looking, and since it's flooding, you got to take a boat around,
Okay.
and that's a means of traversing it. If you could swim, but there's things in the water that will eat you,
Yeah.
Okay.
so you got to be careful of that.
You found a little note in a pocket there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of investigating.
Yeah.
I wanted to use this and can't. I was disappointed. There he is.
Oh, no.
Charles Reed,
So that's an
private investigator.
Innsmouther.
Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert.
What are your thoughts
I
on
think you know why
ape
I'm here.
people and fish folk?
That darn bartender.
It's
was
all
all that
really
crazy
strange because, like, you're trying to sell the idea of strange things are happening in the city, and you're kind of a part of it.
Well, if you reach for your
But then
gun,
you
hit
get
the
there
floor
and it's
faster
already
than you
off
can
already.
see.
Yeah,
Just their
yeah.
I
society.
got nothing to hide.
So you're kind of dealing with two things that are happening at once. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you would think the second you saw the Innsmouther, your sanity meter would just deplete all the way, right?
right. Yeah. So how much of it is known already? Like in his universe. Again, that stuff. Maybe there's a lot of documents you can find that you can read.
Yeah.
I didn't do a lot of that. Maybe a lot of that's explained. But from just the start of the game, they don't really do a great job of setting it up.
Yeah. And then during the course of your time with the game, did like this section here, for instance, like flood with water? Is that something that's happening dynamically, or is it just
no, it's just areas that
Okay.
are already flooded.
Okay.
You can see it's a little wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And squishy from the sound of his feet.
Right.
Oh boy.
Men's finest clothing. I would not buy anything from there at this point. Here's the map. So the flooded areas are blue. Well, it was very brief. Okay, the blue.
Okay.
So that's where you have to take the boats, and there's usually one around each of those. Or if there isn't one, you swim.
And you're manually driving or piloting the boat, I
Yep.
should say. How's that going? Is it pretty good?
It controls fine, but for whatever reason, they have a lot of barrels and debris in the water, and you
Okay.
hit that, and it kind of moves. Like the physics are kind of funky. It looks a little goofy.
Ah.
And then here's a surprise. So,
Oh.
in addition to being in the city itself, you get to. One of the missions is assembling this gear,
Okay.
and you go down, and you actually get to play down here. Going in the water of Lovecraft, like in an ocean inspired by Lovecraft, sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, you should just move to like Montana.
Exactly.
Smart.
So yeah, we're gonna go into the
Don't
the
put
sea.
your head in that.
So here I am walking around, and you learn you can light these lanterns, chemical lamps. Sorry,
Thank you.
to kind of show you where to go.
This stone isn't natural. Could it be
So two different things. You have weapons for underwater warfare.
Harpoons?
I've been hankering for a good mystery game since Return of the Obra Dinn last year.
I don't know if this is going to be it. I walked away with it with mixed feelings. Again, I didn't feel like I had much say in what was kind of going on. Something that Frogware's really embraced with the Sherlock games is giving you a lot of choice and figuring things out.
Sure.
And, Holmes is a known quantity. This guy, I don't know who Charles Reed is, and I'd like to get to know him better and feel more of a connection between him and the world. There was some craziness down there.
But that's all we can show.
All right.
Cool.
So
well,
that's the Sinking City
Well, thanks
coming
for-
out in June.
in
right.
June. All right. What's it coming out on?
PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Excellent. Well, thanks for showing it off.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Leo, for putting it all together.
Of course.
And thanks for watching, everybody.